Welcome you all in BBA and MBA Guide by Ummi Sameya Hamid. Today is the fourth lecture about management. Today we are going to cover the general administrative theory under classical approach of history of management. In general administrative theory, we will study Fayol 14 Principles of Management and Waber's Bureaucracy. General administrative theory focused more on what managers do and what constituted good management practice. Henry Fayol is the first who identified 5 functions that managers perform: planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, and controlling. Fayol wrote during the same time period as Taylor. While Taylor was concerned with first-line managers and the scientific method, Fayol's attention was directed at the activities of all managers. He wrote from his personal experience as the managing director of a large French coal mining firm. Fayol described the practice of management as something distinct from accounting, finance, production, distribution, and other typical business functions. His belief that management was an activity common to all business endeavors, government, and even the home led him to develop 14 principles of management, fundamental rules of management that could be applied to all organizational situations and taught in schools. These principles are: division of work. Specialization increases output by making employees more efficient. Authority. Managers must be able to give orders, and authority gives them this right. Discipline. Employees must obey and respect the rules that govern the organization. Unity of command. Every employee should receive orders from only one superior. Unity of direction. The organization should have a single plan of action to guide managers and workers. Subordination of individual interests to the general interest. The interests of any one employee or group of employees should not take precedence over the interests of the organization as a whole. Remuneration. Workers must be paid a fair wage for their services. Centralization. This term refers to the degree to which subordinates are involved in decision-making. Scalar chain. The line of authority from top management to the lowest ranks is the scalar chain. Order. People and materials should be in the right place at the right time. Equity. Managers should be kind and fair to their subordinates. Stability of tenure of personnel. Management should provide orderly personnel planning and ensure that replacements are available to fill vacancies. Initiative. Employees who are allowed to originate and carry out plans will exert high levels of effort. Esprit de corps. Promoting team spirit will build harmony and unity within the organization. Now let we discuss about Max Weber. Weber was a German sociologist who studied organizations. Writing in the early 1900s, he developed a theory of authority structures and relations based on an ideal type of organization he called a bureaucracy, a form of organization characterized by division of labor, a clearly defined hierarchy, detailed rules and regulations, and impersonal relationships. Weber recognized that this ideal bureaucracy didn't exist in reality. Instead, he intended it as a basis for theorizing about how work could be done in large groups. His theory became the structural design for many of today's large organizations. Bureaucracy, as described by Weber, is a lot like scientific management in its ideology. Both emphasized rationality, predictability, impersonality, technical competence, and authoritarianism. Although Weber's ideas were less practical than Taylor's, the fact that his ideal type still describes many contemporary organizations attests to their importance. This chart explains the whole idea of bureaucracy as described by Max Weber. A bureaucracy should have division of labor in which jobs broken down into simple, routine, and well-defined tasks. Authority hierarchy in which positions organized in a hierarchy with a clear chain of command. Formal selection through which people selected for jobs based on technical qualifications. Formal rules and regulations that create system of written rules and standard operating procedures. Impersonality by which uniform application of rules and controls, not according to personalities, and career orientation through which managers are career professionals, not owners of units they manage. So now let's talk about how today's managers use general administrative theory. Several of our current management ideas and practices can be directly traced to the contributions of general administrative theory. For instance, the functional view of the manager's job can be attributed to Fayol. In addition, his 14 principles serve as a frame of reference from which many current management concepts, such as managerial authority, centralized decision-making, reporting to only one boss, and so forth, have evolved. Waber's Bureaucracy was an attempt to formulate an ideal prototype for organizations. Although many characteristics of Waber's bureaucracy are still evident in large organizations, his model isn't as popular today as it was in the 20th century. Many managers feel that a bureaucratic structure hinders individual employees' creativity and limits an organization's ability to respond quickly to an increasingly dynamic environment. However, even in flexible organizations of creative professionals, such as Microsoft, Samsung, General Electric, or Cisco Systems, some bureaucratic mechanisms are necessary to ensure that resources are used efficiently and effectively. This is all about Lecture 4. For any query, you can ask by commenting below. Don't forget to subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon for the latest updates regarding management lectures. Share this video with your friends and fellows for more detailed topics about management.